collection, that's nothing but the framework. Then what it provides? It provides an architecture to store and manipulate the group of object. When you encounter a word called Java collection, just remember that it's nothing but a class and interface, a bean that is going to encapsulate many objects into one object. Hello to all, a warm welcome to my new session on exception handling. I'm your Revati ma'am, faculty from the Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. Before going to start my today's session, let me to revise the topic what I have discussed in my previous session. So dear student, in my previous session, I started with exception handling in Java. So what is exception? That is nothing but an error. And what kind of error and when it's going to occur? That is during the execution of the program, whatever the errors we are going to get. To handle that, we are going to have some mechanism and that is known as exception handling. Along with that, I have discussed some of the exception keywords, that is nothing but try, catch, finally, throw and throws. Anyway, dear student, in my last session, I started with exception handling with some example programs. But in my today's session, I'm going to discuss collections in Java, what is collection framework and what is Java Bean and what is Java Bean properties. Along with that, I'm going to discuss the advantages as well as disadvantages. So dear student, what is collections? As the name itself indicates that it is a collection. For example, in our real life, if we encounter the word like collection, I have watch collection or I have t-shirt collection. So what is collection here? I'm going to collect the item. Okay, I'm going to collect my favorite item. But if I consider the word collection in Java, then it is nothing but a framework. So what is collection in Java? It is nothing but a framework. And that provides architecture to store and manipulate. So what is collection? That's nothing but the framework. Then what it provides? It provides an architecture to store and manipulate the group of object. Why it is object? Because Java is object-oriented programming language and everything is treated as classes and object. Even if I consider collection, then it is once again nothing but the group of objects. So Java collections are achieved all the operations that you perform on data. So a Java collection can be achieved when I perform searching of data or sorting of data or insertion of data as well as manipulation as well as deletion of data. So here data are nothing but the object. So Java collection means a single unit of object. So dear student, when I have single unit of object, then it is known as collection. But what about collections? It's nothing but the group of object, then it is known as Java collections. So Java collection is nothing but a framework that provides many interfaces such as set, list, queue, dequeue, as well as classes like array list, vectors, linked list, priority queue, hash set, as well as linked hash set, tree set, etc. So dear student, I hope all are familiar with the word like set, list, queue and DQ. Along with that, classes. So here Java framework includes two things, that is interfaces as well as classes. Now, a collection represents a single unit of object, then it is known as Java collection, and that is known as group. Then what is framework in Java? So dear student, I know Java collection is nothing but a framework. Then what is framework? It provides ready-made architecture. In the sense, everything is ready-made. Whenever I want, I'm going to get it and I'm going to use it. So here in our daily life, we are going to get ready-made food. Similarly, if I consider Java collection, I'm going to get everything is inbuilt and built in, and it is ready-made architecture. It represents a set of classes as well as interface. So dear student, when you encounter a word called Java collection, just remember that it's nothing but a class and interface, and it is optional. In the sense, it is left to the user. If he or she want to use the Java collection in their program, then they can able to use it. Now, what is collection framework? So here, a collection framework represents a unified architecture. It is a unified architecture to store the data, to search the data, and to manipulate the group of object, and it includes interfaces as well as classes, and it has interface and its implements, that is classes. So dear student, just remember that when I'm going to use interface in my program, then I want to implement that interface in my class. So interface and its implementation, that is nothing but class. Along with that, it is nothing but an algorithm. So what is an algorithm here? That's nothing but the step-by-step finite set of instruction. So dear student, then I'm going to have another very interesting concept, that is Java Bean. So what is Java Bean? It is a Java class. It is a Java class. Then what is Java class? That is nothing but the way used to group the object. So here NetBeans is nothing but the way used to group the object. Then that includes, it should have a no argument constructor. So no argument constructor, in the sense NetBeans must have the no argument constructor. That's nothing but the default constructor, and it should be serializable. Along with that, it should provide methods. So here Java Beans must provide methods to set the value as well as to get the value, as well as properties, and it is known as getter and setter method. So dear student, to get the value, I'm going to have the getter method, and to set the value, I'm going to have the setter method. And it is a reusable software component. So dear student, whenever I want to use reusable component, then I can able to use Java Bean. A bean encapsulates. So here a bean that is going to encapsulate many objects into one object. So dear student, think that I have group of object and I want to encapsulate all the object into single object, then I can go with Java Bean. It provides easy maintenance, in the sense by using Java Bean, it's very easy to write the program and it is very easy to maintain the program. So a Java Bean property is named feature. So what is Java Bean? It is nothing but a named feature. Then what is named feature here? That is nothing but it can be any Java data type. So dear student, all together I'm going to call Java data type as feature. So here Java Bean property is a named feature that includes classes. So what this Java data type includes, that includes classes. So a Java Bean property may be read, write or read only and write only. So dear student, in my Java Bean property, I can able to perform read only operation, write only operation or read operation and write operation, as well as Java Bean features are accessed throughout two methods in the Java Bean implementation class. In the sense, we can able to access the Java Bean features by using two methods, that is get property name. So what is this get property name? Suppose if the property name is first name, then get first name. Okay, so here my property name is first name, then what is the method used to call? That is get first name. And for example, another method, if I consider, if my property name is once again first name, then what's the method I'm going to call? That is set property. That is, what is property name that is first name. So set first name. So these are the two methods used to access the property. So dear student, let me to discuss the advantages of Java Bean. A Java Bean property and methods can be exposed to another application. So dear student, by using Java Bean application, I can able to expose the methods which is present in my class as well as properties which is present in my class. So dear student, a Java Bean property and methods can be exposed to another application, and it provides an easiness to reuse the software component. By using Java Bean, I can able to reuse the component so easily and so frequently. Now, what is the disadvantage here? Java Beans are mutable, so it cannot take advantages of immutable object. So mutable in the sense what? We cannot able to modify. Okay, so here Java Beans are mutable. So we cannot able to take the immutable feature. So dear student, the next disadvantage here is creating the setter and getter method for each property may lead to some problem. So it is difficult to create setter method as well as getter method for each property. If I each time create a separate setter method as well as getter method, then it leads some problems. So these are some of the disadvantage of Java Bean. Dear student, in my today's session, I started with Java collection. Along with that, I have discussed Java Bean. Anyway, dear student, from the examination point of view, both the topics are very important, and in my next session, I'm going to deal with networking. In that, I'm going to deal with network package, along with that some of the networking terminology and Java socket programming. Dear student, let's meet in the next session with the new concept, that is Java networking. Until that, keep watching and keep learning. Thank you.